They say that wisdom comes with age, but is it really true? Or does true leadership come with maturity? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Reality Podcast. And today I'm joined by three intelligent young individuals as we are going to unpack the debate, age versus maturity. And each one of them will try to give out their take on this debate. They are going to represent themselves. And on my side, I
am Councillor Mufururi Alma, representing Ward 3. I am the Director of Engineering and Technical Services for the City of Mutare.
And yes?
I am Ritendo Faith, the Junior Mayor, City of Mutare.
I am Munasha Kachikamsoma, the Junior Town Clerk of Mutare.
So here I have big people who are representing Mutare. So I have the Junior Mayor. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's a very big post.
It's a big post, right? And does it come with age or maturity?
Maturity, rather.
Okay, and I have the young man here. You said you are?
The Junior Town Clerk.
Junior Town Clerk?
Yes.
So you are holding the city on your shoulders?
Exactly.
You are the man of the city?
That's my point.
Impressive. And here I have?
The Director of Engineering and Technical Services.
Wow, you do engineering. That's impressive for a young lady. So, I want you to explain briefly what do you think about this topic, which is age versus maturity. So, how do you define maturity? And do you think that age is a determining factor?
Well, to begin with, maturity is the ability of one person to make very sound and good decisions about their life, and maturity does not come with age. Rather, it comes with the wisdom that is one person and the belief that they have that they can make those decisions right for their life.
Okay, that is a very big take. But what about you personally? What do you think maturity is in your own personal experiences?
Well, I think that maturity is my ability to make sure that each and every step that I take in my life is for the good. That each and every outcome that I'm going to produce is the best that I can make for my age and for everybody who's around me. That each and everything that I'm going to do is not going to affect the next person. It's not going to affect you. It's not going to affect Menashe. But it is going to be for the best for everybody who's around me. So that is how I define maturity for myself.
That's very good. And what do you think, Miss Faith?
I also think maturity is being able to be accountable for the wrong things you do in life.
Okay.
Well, life is not perfect, but then if you make a mistake, maturity is is the ability to be accountable and to move on, to believe that failure is not the end of everything. That's maturity for me.
That is a very good take. What about you, Mr. Town Clerk? Tell us what you have. Do you have big words for us or what?
Personally,
yes,
I think maturity is being able to read the problem that you're facing and to act upon it. Yes,
that is very good. So one should actually assess the problem before doing anything.
Yes.
Okay, that is very good. So moving on, I want to ask you, again, do you think age is a determining factor in leadership? I understand that you are carrying the city of Mutare on your shoulders. You are making some decisions for other youth in the city, right? And so it takes one to have good leadership skills, right? So do you think that age is a determining factor in leadership ability?
Personally, I think it can be both ways. Just think of an ECD student,
yes,
trying to lead us all. That won't be a good thing, right?
Yes.
But I am 19.
Okay.
But I'm able to lead. I'm able to make decisions based on what I see, based on things that are very moral and social as well.
Okay. So you have been tackling big issues, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us one example where you said that this was a very big challenge, but I was able to tackle it head on using very good judgment? Can you tell us one example of that problem?
I would give you an example where we held the, what do you call this one? The campaign for the disabilities.
Okay, disability
Yes.
campaign.
We had to make decisions.
Yes.
That would affect other people if we made them wrong. So we had to think about it. So we had to make other people notice us, and so we didn't want to disturb the other people.
Yes.
So we made the decision that we will just do a walkover from Bata to the Mikus Park.
Okay.
And advertise that people should know about what people with disabilities but we had to do it in a smart way.
Yes.
Everyone had to be aware that we're here. So I made the decision that we were supposed to use the fire extinguishers, the cars as well.
Yes.
So that they will sound their sirens, so that everyone will be aware that we are moving.
Yes.
We are moving together as the city of what?
Mutare. That was very good. Okay, I want to ask you, Junior Mayor, do you think that maturity comes from experience, education, or natural wisdom?
Well, I think everyone can be mature if they want to be.
Mm.
You know, there's a quote that says, if you want to make the world a better place, you take a look at yourself and then make a change. So if you feel like you have to make change in some way, you can make it. That's what makes maturity come from the desire from within. It's not about age, wisdom, or education. Of course, all those are rather supplements, but not the main drive to maturity. Because if you feel like you have to make the right thing, it comes from the person within, the man in the mirror.
Okay,
Yes.
I understand. I want to ask Miss Engineer. You said that you deal with the technicalities, right?
Exactly.
And so you have to be very analytical. You have to be someone who's very assessing, right? Don't you think that maturity is also influenced by what a person experiences in their life?
Of course, the more experience that you have in the field of work, the more quality, the more best quality that you produce in that field of work. So to consider the fact that you are mature and you are also experienced, it means that you're going to produce top notch
Yes.
of everything that you're going to produce in that field, right? But also the other thing is that even if you are young, you might still be mature in your mind
Yes.
and in your behavior, the character that you show out there in the world. You might be very mature to the extent that everything that you do is of the best quality, despite the fact that you're young.
That's interesting. So I want to ask you again. Do you think that age is a determining factor in leadership? It's for you.
No, I do not think that age is a determining factor in terms of leadership experience.
Why do you say so?
Because people are born leaders naturally. For example, I was born a leader and my parents even know it. From a very young age, they notice that there is a beaming light that is in me that is of leadership. So from a very tender age, my parents made sure that they put me on the front line. I was always on the front line. Why? Because I was born a leader. I was born holding this sort of leadership that I had to show everybody that I can lead you because I've got the ability. So despite the age, the person can just lead. You feel? So when we're talking about leadership coming from a very young age, we've got certain scenarios where we see young people, right, from the tender ages of 5 to 6 to 7, right, holding the banners in front of everybody, leading people in a way that is very amusing, shocking rather. Why? Because people are actually shocked that this person is leading such a large number of people, such large volumes of people. Why? Because that person is very mature. Because leadership comes from within. People are born leaders. People do not train to be leaders.
Okay, interesting. Okay, Mr. Tonklake, I want to ask you something. Have you ever been in a position where you have to prove yourself, or in a situation where you have to show people that your age it had nothing to do with what you can do? You said that you are 19 years, right?
Yes.
So some people may try to undermine you because of your age, right? But have you ever been in a situation where to prove them wrong? Like Baba Harare said, prove them wrong.
Yeah. I remember I was in Form 1.
Yes.
So they made me a prefect.
Okay.
So they didn't expect much. So you know the DH, right? The people are supposed to be quiet. So I
What
was
are
a
the
young...
DH?
Oh, the dining hall.
Dining hall.
Yes,
Okay, in
yes.
boarding schools.
Yes.
Okay.
So you know when people are eating lunch, so people are expected to be quiet, right? So that's one of the leadership skills that you are supposed to have, to know what is supposed to be done at the moment. So people are supposed to be quiet and maintain order while they are eating, and they can also have manners. So I was Form 1. I had to walk inside a DH full of upper sixes, or what you call them, the people who are doing A level.
Okay.
And I am Form 1. I haven't done accounts, I haven't done anything. So I was a person who was very young to tell everyone in there to be quiet.
Okay.
But I just did it in a nice way. I just went to the upper sixes and the lower sixes and asked them nicely, can you be quiet? and went on to the juniors, then showcase that Kuti, we could make everyone be quiet by just telling them, guys, can you be quiet? So smoothly. And as a person of a younger age, I had to tell them nicely. But that strategy worked because I used the strategy instead of just shouting. Imagine if I shouted, they would just make those sounds and they would just undermine you. So at first I was undermined when I used to shout. Then I tried a different approach. And guess what? It worked.
So are you trying to say that with the maturity, you have to realize that you don't have to use aggression approaches to things?
Exactly.
You have to be mindful.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. Because wakadhirira vakomana vakuru egona kurohwa.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very good. So, this junior mayor,
Yes.
have you ever felt underestimated due to your age?
Yes, I'll make it short. It was an experience sometime last year. So we have these competitions all around Zimbabwe that are for youth leaders. It's a youth leadership voice plus choice competition. So I attended that one representing Mutare. So to my surprise, I expected to see junior mayors just like me. But I saw university students who represent organizations.
Damn.
You see, like people that the child advocate for Say What, the youth representatives from FACT, those were all university people. And then when I looked at their profiles online, some of them had been to these competitions 4 times before, 3 times before, and it was actually my first time there. So when I went there, one of them was like, "Oh, you're so small. Are you a leader?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm the junior mayor." Like, I didn't know this time we're competing with high school students. That was something
Demotivating.
yeah, I really felt demotivated.
Yes.
But to my surprise, I was the best leader of the year,
Wow.
2024. So sometimes you feel underestimated because people have this perspective that age determines the ability of a person, or age determines what you can do. Maybe it's because of the views of our old parents, the patriarchal perspectives that the society has. When you grew up in culture, Wanakuru have the say, Wanakuru have the voice, Wanakuru have the ideas. But nowadays, I feel like everyone can do these things. Because imagine the 3 of us, we are running the city as junior mayors, junior councillors, but you're making a very big difference despite our age. So maturity is all about passion, self-drivenness, not rather age.
Interesting. But I've seen an observation in the streets. I've seen that the more people age, especially our ages, from 20, 21, 22, the more they're showing signs of immaturity. Instead of growing up, we are seeing people, it's like they're going reverse psychologically or mentally.
Yes.
Totoda soti munhu zvari kukura kudaika aufana kuratidzawo ma-leadership skills, aufana kungwarirawo, but atenge pfungwa dziri kudzokera mashuro. Should we blame our parents for that immaturity, or should we blame the modern state of our country, or what should we blame?
Do you know modernization is something good if it's used in the positive direction? Our parents are always right. They're the people that give us direction. What's wrong is us, the youth of today. We are losing ourselves in trying to be other people. So during the process, that's when we portray all those traits of silliness and immature characters. It's because we're trying to be people who we aren't. But if you know that I am a Zimbabwean, I am a child, I have to do these things, that's maturity. Knowing what's important and what's trivial is maturity. So I think I blame us as the youth of the society for what we are trying to become. That's unrealistic actually. Maybe because of the social standards set on social media, be it magazines, everywhere.
Pressure.
We're getting pressure from all sides. So that's what leads to immature actions that you're actually doing out there.
Okay. Sam, if you look into our society these days, then people are now indulging into drugs. Are you aware of that?
Very aware.
Okay, so if these people are indulging in drugs, should we say that they are lacking education or they are lacking maturity? What do you think about that issue?
I think they are lacking maturity.
Okay.
Because if it's in terms of education, if you look at the system right now, everyone is educated that they shouldn't indulge in drugs, especially from a tender age.
Okay.
As you can see, you see young children say no to drugs. You see people who are old enough say no to drugs. Headmasters, they've said this: no, say no to drugs. But I think maturity is the one that makes people, if someone is lacking in maturity, they want to test to see what it feels like. So it shows good that person is not mature enough to suffer, to see the consequences of taking drugs, because obviously it's a habit forming commodity.
Okay.
When it comes to economics, we call them commodities.
Okay.
So it's a commodity. So if someone takes such things, it's a habit forming. So they will become addictive to that substance. They want to take more. That's when you see now they are suffering the consequences of what? Taking that thing, because they were immature.
Okay. Mr. Director, I want to ask you a question, right? And I want you to analyze it. So a young person sees a pack of cigarettes or a bottle of Hennessy or whatever alcohol, and they see that there's a label written there, danger. This may be hazardous to health, and they still continue it. What do you think might be the case? Is it peer pressure or immaturity or lack of education?
I think that lack of immaturity, number one, is the main cause that leads somebody to doing something that is not right. Immaturity is the biggest factor that is causing people to indulge in stuff that they do not want to do. And then the other thing is that people are being educated 24/7, just like Nasha said. So education is not even the factor, because we are all being told that we should not do it. But the drive that is in somebody that wants them to test is the one that is causing people to indulge in such type of activities. So what I feel like is the more people try to experiment, the more they are losing their maturity as they are growing up. Because each and every day that is passing by, you're growing up. You're not going back to be a child. You're actually growing up. But the drive that is in somebody that wants them to test and experiment is the thing that is also making them immature. The more you want to test, the more immature you become. Because each and every day, you become immature because you still want to do stuff that is immoral, that is unaccepted in the society, stuff that is not allowed by the law. So that is what causes people to do stuff.
Okay, in my own personal view, again, I feel like people angati kushaya good judgment here kana kuti kutadza kufunga here, but vanhu vanogadzira doro chaichaikuka kana vanotengesa foja vanatsonyora kuti zvinokwadza utano izvi, but munhu anorasa common sense kunze kwewindow otaura zvinhu izvozvo achinatsoziva kuti zvinouraya izvi. Sezvemutaura kuchikoro kuti vanhu vari kutaura kuti madrugs akashata, but someone actually ignores that, and it shows lack of maturity, right? Munhu anozotanga kuzofunga kuti zvakashata sho akurwara andika, but maturity actually makes you to be analytical kuti if I take this in the next 5 years ndogona kukwara kana ndakamboona bhodhi wepasera apo imbotora madrugs waapakati andi that takes maturity. But if you're a person andika wobvaona munhu ari kurwara because of madrugs or because of smoking, and you ignore that and you do it yourself, it means that you are lacking maturity, right? So what do you think as the youth we have to do in terms of immaturity? Do you have to look for wisdom from older people, mentors, or our parents? What do you think we should do?
So if we say that we should take notes or read the lessons from our parents, I think that is not enough. Because we are with our parents 24/7. So if it means that if you're still being immature, you cannot listen to what your parents are telling you, right? Maybe you need a different approach. That is not your parent. Because if your parent tells you not to, you're used to your voice, to your father's voice, you cannot be moved, you cannot be changed by that. Rather, we should opt for other options. We've got city fathers in our societies. People from back there who were born in the 70s, the war veterans, those people have lived life and they know everything. They know every action comes with a consequence. And those people are the perfect people that we should go to as youth. Let us go to Wanana Seguruelu, Wanana Tete, those old people that we have in our societies. Those people whom we see in the streets walking with walking sticks. Let's go and ask advice from those people. Wanababa Wana Seguru, how did you pass the stage? Makai Fura or say. And we come to see to it that those people actually are living testimonies of some actions that are actually not right. You see maybe a 75-year-old man with not even a single tooth in their mouth. You ask them, what really happened? What transpired? They tell you, maybe. I had a fight with somebody at the bar, and that's how I lost my teeth. So you really see that going to the bar maybe is actually wrong. Taking beer is actually wrong, maybe, if you do it at a very young age, you see. So taking advices from those people who are actually old is the best thing that we can do as the youth. Because if we try to take advices from our parents, maybe we are underestimating our parents for real. As youths, we are not even listening to our parents. We are not. That's the truth.
So sad.
No sugarcoating, no what. We are not listening to our parents. We're just underestimating those people because we see them every day. We we dine with them, we eat together. There's nothing that they know.
So there's now over familiarity.
Exactly. We are now underestimating. We think that our parents are actually our friends. You feel? So asking advice from older people in our society is the best thing that we can do. And maybe if you're living in maybe an isolated society, maybe a more close, secure place that you're staying in, maybe we can say in Morambi, maybe it's actually going to be hard for you to find somebody who's old in those areas, right? We've got counselors, people who were trained for this work. Let's go and see those people. Let's go and talk to those people. Those people have got answers to every question that we have as kids. So that is what we should do for us to be maybe more mature in the next 5 or 10 years to come. Because we are going to become parents.
Yeah, that's true.
10, 15 years to come, I'll be a parent. She'll be a parent. You'll be a parent. You'll be a parent, right? We need to be mature enough to make decisions for our little kids.
And it starts with us.
Exactly. So we should find the best solution or maybe answers to each and every question that we have as kids. Why should we take drugs? They know the exact answers to those questions. So let's go there as youth. We'll get the exact answers that we want.
Okay, Mia, I want to ask you one thing. As a girl, how do you think a girl should act in order to show that she's mature? And what are the things she should do to show that she's growing in a good state of maturity? What do you think a girl should do?
Okay,
what shows that she's mature?
What shows that she's mature? The decisions we make. We are victims of every decision we make, rather than guys. We are more on the victim side. Because if I make a decision right now to go out clubbing, who knows, in the next 3 months I'll be pregnant. So every decision we make in our lives, we have to be accountable for them. So as a girl, you have to set boundaries. The world will say whatever they'll say. Hey, Sarah, she's behind. But then know yourself. What I'm going to do, is it going to help me in the next 5 years to come? Is it going to benefit the people around me? Or is it actually going to make it a burden to the people around me? Imagine if I'm in school right now. Imagine if I get pregnant right now. I'm going to bring a burden to the society, my parents, and everyone around me, including myself. So as a girl, I think one primary thing that shows maturity is decision making.
Yes.
Every decision you make has to be for the positive and has to benefit yourself in the long run.
Yes. That's right. What about you, sir? What do you think regarding to the boy child?
Yes, the boy child.
Yes.
And nowadays there's the trend called drip.
Drip, yes.
Exactly. Imagine you're walking in town, you see someone wearing a cap. What do you think? Do you think that is maturity?
You are being lost.
Yeah, you're being lost. So that is what is happening to the boys now and then. So if you see someone wearing such things,
but is it not fashion?
Maybe to the other countries, but imagine you're going to a church or you're inside the house. You're wearing such things in front of your mother. What do you think happens?
Okay.
I wouldn't allow it.
Okay, go on.
So imagine the boy child is being influenced to do such things because they are the one who are at risk mostly in terms of drugs and the abuse of drugs as well. Because imagine if someone comes and then they are vaping or they are taking drugs, he's in his mindset. There's that drawback, and there's also that one that's telling him, "But just get a test. Just get a test. What do you think it tastes like? Is it gonna be bitter, or sour, or sweet?
I don't feel good.
Feel good.
Yeah.
Hey, am I gonna forget my problems? Especially when they are depressed. Especially when a boy child is depressed.
It's an escape.
It's an escape. Even if you are saying hi, you might end up in a fight. So we are mostly at risk. So mostly we need to be mature to know how to act based on what we are seeing.
Yes.
Because imagine if people are taking drugs in front of you. You need to be mature to say, if I take this, there's going to be something which follows after.
Yes.
Imagine if I take drugs today.
Yes.
Maybe tomorrow I'm gonna need twice the size of what I took today because I want the same satisfaction that I got today.
And you lose yourself.
Yes. And you lose yourself within the process.
Okay.
Unlike the other goods like what we consume like drinks and something, they have a diminishing marginal utility. But when it comes to drugs,
it's a bit fast.
No, it's not a diminishing marginal utility. It's the opposite now.
Yeah.
You want to consume more. You want to take more so that you feel satisfied. So imagine those people drink beer. They obviously started by drinking 1. Now they're taking 6. Tomorrow they want maybe like 16 or 10. Yes, depending on the occasion, of course.
Okay, interesting. That is very right. And I want to tell others out there that you have to understand as you grow up that backgrounds differ. So my decisions are not all. Andika ari kutemba background yake ari kuzepa akamira. So you also know akazvimira ega. You have to know where you're coming from and where you are going. Every decision you make today will determine your future. So you unofanira kungwara kuti zvinhu tiri kuita nhasi izvi zvinofadzana kumba kwedu here ndo tiri background. So you have to be very aware of that because we're not gonna ari kutemba baba wake wakaisa 15,000 account yake. Andika we're not gonna ari kutemba maybe ane scholarship or whatever. We're not gonna temba kana kuti nchatenga business tone capital. Yo tama ngoflow zvanoita kuti mfano wangu chipo bemara kana kuti musikana ngoti hande club kana kuti dane nedhara iro. Iwe life yako chitoshata apa iwe hapana zvanongori kuita. Ngonongora hako to be empty.
You know what, Alex? Just to add on, it is super okay for someone to be mature at a very young age. But you know, it's rather a curse for you to be older and immature. The other side of it. Some people actually at their 30s, at their 40s, but then they still act like they're at their teens, you know. So it's actually the opposite as well. Some people are older, but then they're immature. So it's rather better to be mature while you are young. It's actually a blessing, a double bonus. But then it's a pity then if you're older and then immature.
Because you'll not be able to lead your family or your kids.
Then the whole generation is going to be immature. Yes.
We're in trouble. So, as I want to ask, I want one of you or all of you to answer this. How has being a member of the Junior Council impacted your growth and maturity despite your age?
Okay, let me start. So being a member of the Junior Council for the City of Mutare has been a life-changing opportunity that I got last year, end of March. It was a shock that when I realized that I was one of the councillors, because I never thought I would make it. Because many people actually came and applied, had interviews and did all of those big processes for them just to be councillors. But when I realized that I was one of those people who were going to lead the cities, I felt that I had the whole city on my shoulders, right? Like what you say, Tominashi. Because each and every decision that I was going to make was going to bring whether a positive or negative impact on somebody's life. So I made sure that each and everything that I did it for the positive outcome to come out for each and everyone. You know, people are out there are looking up to us.
Yes.
They'll be like, she's there up there. She's going to tell the mayor that we do not have water back there. Get. People will be expecting a lot of things from you, and it requires one mature person to make sure that you deliver what is necessary to deliver to the leaders, and you go back with feedback to people back at home where you come from, that the leader said this in concern to the matter that you brought to the table, and their feedback is this, what they are going to do is this. And I come back again with some more intriguing stories for the leaders. People need this in the society. What are you going to do? And also, I'm there to advocate for everybody out there who is at home. Because not everybody is going to get a chance to sit and dine with the mayor. But I've got the opportunity. I got the chance to talk to the mayor and interact, share,
and represent
exactly,
the issues,
rubbing shoulders with the mayor, talking about each and every story that is happening back at home
in the ghetto. Yes,
right. So that is a very great opportunity that I got. And I want to thank God that I had the ability to show my maturity to people of older age, for them to see that there are young people out there who can advocate for people who are at home. Yes, so that is what happens.
Okay, Ms. Junior Mayor, tell us what you have learned and how have you gained maturity.
Okay, it's very obvious. When there is leadership, there is opposition. So when you get to feel this whole big shoe of being the mayor, some people are going to throw stones at you, but it's up to you to throw them back or to make them into something useful.
Yes,
that's maturity. So upon being the mayor, right, for instance, when we got in council, we got 6,000 for the junior council activities.
Okay.
But if we were other people, we would have used the money to get ourselves iPhones, to go to Sheeps and spend the money. But we then realized that many children out there don't go to school. Many disabled people out there lack the basic needs they want for them to live. So it took us maturity to realize that why don't we use that money for things that's going to benefit every child in Mutare within our ability. And being in this office taught me to make wise decisions. Because imagine if we have an annual budget meeting, right, where we can write what we want to happen. If we center that opportunity on things we feel like is important to us, we're going to make every other person out there lose. And then on the issue of opposition, if we tolerate the negativity we get from other people, we'll not go anywhere. So it's just ignoring the people and minding your own flow and becoming the best version of yourself and making a change.
Yeah, and you have to remember that jealousy is a form of love and hate at the same time. Because if someone is hating on you, it means that they envy what you're doing.
Yes.
At the same time, they're hating you for it. So you have to embrace it. Say what you have to say.
On the social status.
Yes. What have you done? What have you learned? How have you matured?
Imagine being called an honorable by your own father.
Your worship.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine.
By your own father.
By your own father.
Right. That's an achievement.
That's an achievement.
Damn.
You see, so when you go to new places and then you just show them, but I'm within the council. So it means whatever you're going to say or tell them, they're just gonna do it because they know that this person is of high status.
Yes.
So abana gonna town clean abana.
That's impressive.
So apart from the social status, I've also gained experience in leadership.
Okay.
Imagine there you need to say, you do this. Imagine at my school, I'm already a prefect now, but before I was a prefect, if I could just see the juniors, if I see Lita there, I would just say, can you guys pick that up and just throw it in the bin? I'm showing Guti, even in my city, as I'm in the junior town clerk, even in my city, I'm doing the same thing. So I gained the leadership skills, which means wherever I'm going to go, if I get the post, I'm just obviously gonna do more. I'm gonna plan, I'm gonna execute, as well as implement.
And make sure that things are done.
Things are done.
That's very good. You're showing that you're going to be brilliant young people tomorrow, and I'm very proud of that.
I hope so.
Okay, so what are your final words to the audience, to those who are watching out there?
Okay, I'll start by saying I come from a village whereby when one heart is on fire, the whole village is on fire, which means unity. If we see one youth out there who's being misled by the social pressures and everything, let's not judge. Let's be there to build one another. That's a great sign of maturity. And the second thing is, it takes a willing heart to embrace change, to embrace a different perspective towards yourself. So if you are willing to be mature, to be accountable of everything you do, it takes a willing heart to change. Because when you take a look at yourself in the mirror stares back, which means you are the person who has to make the difference and act maturely.
Okay. Director?
Okay, so what I have to say the youths out there in the world, I want to tell them, please, let us not neglect our city fathers. Those people are the exact people that we should run to when we need help. Those people have got answers to every person that we have. As young people, we do not know anything. We have not yet lived life. Those people have lived life and they've got answers to the questions that we want. Exactly. We do not know anything. But those people, you're going to see that the moment you go and ask advice from those people, you're going to get the exact advice that you want. The correct knowledge that you need for life. And that is what you should always do. Let's go to the city fathers. They have got everything that we need as youths.
My grade 6 teacher always said that the elderly are the calabash of knowledge. Ndo hari yeruzimu. And you should go to them like what she's saying. Okay, and you say your last words?
I think people should just have integrity.
Integrity.
Yes.
Yes?
To be able to distinguish what's right and wrong.
Yes.
Imagine if you don't have integrity, you're just going to indulge in drugs. Because you don't know what's wrong and right.
When you don't have self-respect.
Yes. Yeah. Imagine if you lose respect for yourself, how are you going to be, how are your children going to respect you? Yes.
What's a this?
Hey, imagine how can a child respect a father who does not see what's right and wrong? Imagine a child is saying this is wrong, but a 20-year-old person is doing what's wrong, while the child is noticing that fact. So we need to have integrity as well as maturity.
Yes, that's right. And I want to add on that on integrity. Integrity also involves kuti usabatike pese pese uchiita zvese. Because ukaenda pasipo unoita zvese. Okay, so guys, that was me, Alex, on the Reality Podcast, and I was joined here by the junior councils, and I'm so happy that they shared their knowledge and their maturity. And before I leave them, tell us where you learn. Where do you learn?
I learn at Sakuba High School.
She's representing Sakuba 1 from Mutare, and you?
St. Dominic's High School, Mutare.
St. Dominic's High School?
Princeton Institute of Mutare.
Wow, interesting. Big man. Okay, and so guys, maturity is also realizing that you have to subscribe to my channel because it offers self-improvement. Because in our country or in our modern life, people are choosing to watch TikToks, people are choosing, what can I say, fast food content. And what wrong, whatever, but if you can subscribe to the Reality Podcast, you learn 1 or 2 things because you need it. You are growing. You need some kind of guidance. You need some kind of knowledge which can help you shape your future. It is important. So guys, that was me, Alex, on the Dande Podcast. Meet me next time. Bye.